and welcome to Savagely Delightful, a podcast exposing the schadenfreude nature in all of us. Each week, your co-hosts John and Christy will be coming at you with different stories of people making the kind of dumb mistakes that we all just love to hear about.
Hey everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Christy.
And welcome back to Savagely Delightful.
Yep, welcome back.
Episode 13.
Yep, lucky number 13.
No.
Hey.
Okay. So, we have some updates. Christy has an update about her wedding dress fiasco.
Yeah, just personal update. First wedding dress basically ruined.
Yeah.
So I did find a second wedding dress, and that is being altered too, but still had to pay for alterations on the first dress.
T-minus less than 1 month to the wedding.
Yeah, and like $1,700 just thrown away, basically.
It's not thrown away. It's bought experience. Paid to play.
It's bullshit.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, so that's that. But
and then just yesterday, I had my bachelor party with my groomsmen. Can we triangulate?
I mean, if you want to.
Like 4-day raise in Topgolf? Like
you can, I don't care.
Okay. Well, we went to 4-day rays and...
You're not there anymore.
That's true. And we went to Topgolf with my buddies and then went back to their place and, had a couple drinks and just hung out. It was a really awesome time.
You want to say what those places are other than the names?
Oh, yeah, I guess that would help a little.
Nobody knows what that is.
4-day rays is like just this nice restaurant. It has like what's it called? These are like nice draft beers.
Is it like a brewery?
Yeah, it is. It's a microbrewery. And then Topgolf, for all of you who don't know, it's this big building where there's multiple slots where it's a golf shooting range. And the balls have sensors in them, and there's like scoring holes out in the green. And you're just, hitting balls trying to get scores. And yeah, that's about it.
Yep, that's somewhere that John's wanted to go for a while now, so.
Finally got to, and it was actually really, really fun. It got kind of expensive, but for a bachelor party, it was worth it.
Yeah. I hear you. And then my bachelorette party is this weekend.
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yep. So
that means I got to get out of here again.
Yeah.
God, we have been nonstop busy.
Yeah, for real. I'm so tired, worn out.
Mm-hmm. And then after we're done with our wedding, then our best friends are having weddings too, so we have to help them with theirs.
Yeah, one of John's best friends is getting married, and one of my best friends is getting married. Different weddings.
Yep.
So we have 2 other weddings directly after ours to hop right back into.
Imagine if it was the same wedding. Imagine if they got married.
That would be so much easier on us. Why don't they?
So convenient.
Why don't they?
No, because
just converge their 2 weddings into one.
I like my best friend's fiance, and I really like your best friend's husband, fiance. They're both fiancés.
Oh, I'm not saying replace their fiancés. I'm just saying have it all on the same day.
Gotcha.
Just make one big ass wedding with people that they don't know. It's fine.
That'd be so nice.
Right. Just purely for our convenience. Please
our
mess
gift.
up your entire wedding for us.
Yeah, the gift you're giving to us for our wedding is to have your guys' weddings together.
Yeah. Less stress. But anyways, until then, you want to start us off for a story?
I would love to.
Okay.
So, our first story was submitted by PheasantlyHappy. And she goes... Right, so this is a while ago, but fuck it, I really need to get it off my chest. I was working at a summer camp where I had to share a room with 2 other people. I was trying to make the best impression as we would be living together for 3 months in probably what is a 5x3 meter space. I'll be honest, even before this, I wasn't really good at making any friends. Christy?
Yeah, I'm not great at making friends.
You try hard.
Well, that makes it sound worse.
I think it's wholesome.
Fuck off. I don't even know how to take that.
As a compliment. I'm trying to give you a compliment.
Okay, well, not taken that way, but anyways.
So she writes, one night I am getting to sleep and both of the other girls are already in bed. So it's completely dark in the room and I can't see anything. I start to hear kind of grunting and what I think is a shifting of sheets. Finally, I begin to hear whispering. Fucking hell, someone's having sex a foot away from me. So I'm lying there trying to get to sleep, looking up and around, but it's completely dark in the room and I can't see a thing. This goes on for an hour, and I'm just wondering what their stamina is like or just what they could be talking about. Either way, I'm losing my patience. I should probably mention I am hard of hearing, so I can't hear what direction small sounds come from, and I have a hard time telling small sounds. But I'm not wanting to tell anyone in this summer camp because I lied in my interview so I could get a job as the receptionist. Full disclosure, I really regret this, but do lie on a job interview, but not like this. Also, it wasn't the first time that that someone has tried to have sex with someone in front of me, but that's another story.
In front of you? Like, you're just a magnet for this.
Right? Honestly, send us that story too, because I want to know what happened.
Right?
So finally, I leave, telling whoever's in there to get out, and I get someone else to come in and switch on the lights and ask what's going on. One of the girls was listening to ASMR on speakers on their phone.
Oh my god.
They all looked at me blurry-eyed to my 1,000-yard stare after a mental battle in my brain for my social anxiety-ridden ass to do something. So I just looked like some vindictive nutter causing conflict. Yup.
But isn't that normal to, like, listen to with headbuds? Or, like, earbuds?
Yeah, that's the super weird part about this, is that whenever you do listen to ASMR, you usually have these headphones so it can put sounds like that. So the sounds create this effect where, like, it's on different positions around your head. Because I listen to ASMR whenever I'm having a hard time trying to fall asleep, too. And if you're listening to it for like over an hour, you are not listening to a good ASMR video.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, that's a really long time.
Yeah. Whenever I have trouble sleeping and I'm listening to it, it takes like 10, 15 minutes and then I am dead asleep.
You also rarely have trouble sleeping though.
That's true. I can
so
sleep
your
anywhere.
Trouble sleeping is like 2 minutes inconvenience and then yeah.
And to anybody who doesn't know what ASMR is, it stands for Autonomous Sensory and Meridian Response. And you can just type it into YouTube or the internet, whatever you run, and just type in ASMR, and it's these videos of these people talking, and some people do noises and clicking or just like whispers or something like that. But the best example I can give for it is if you grow up and you had that teacher or elder or librarian or something that whenever they would talk quietly or softly or like a certain pattern, it would give you tingles like up your spine and it would like kind of make your skin tingle a little bit and kind of put you to sleep. That's what ASMR is, and it helps relax you and get you into a state of mind so you can fall to sleep easier.
I know some, don't they use, the Zen garden, sand stuff?
Yeah, that's
where they, take the little rake and, rake it across the sand, and then that's their noise.
Yep. And, if you go onto YouTube and look at it, it's booked full of different videos, people using 1,000, not even 1,000, 1,000,000 different things to make different noises, or if they have a really good voice, they just use their voice. So if you
don't some people just chew, which is really gross to me.
I was gonna leave that out because that is nasty to me.
Well, that's a thing too.
Yeah, there is this chewing where people will just go get some food and chew into a microphone, and some people enjoy that.
That's terrible.
I think it's kind of cringy, but you do you.
Right.
But yeah, so I understand having bad social anxiety and stuff. I've never had super bad social anxiety myself, but if I was supposed to be the receptionist there and people were up way too long, I would have definitely said something.
Yeah.
I went to band camp and we had, chaperones and stuff, and they always did that to us if we were up too late, You kind of have to have that foot down.
Well, it depends on how often it would happen too.
That's true.
Because if it was just one night, then yeah, okay, whatever. But if it's more than that, then that's where I'd get really annoyed.
Yeah. You ready for yours?
Yeah. Okay, so my first story is from an anonymous source, and they write, so we have a robot vacuum. It's a D-Bot. We've had it for a few years, and it's been really good, which, like, can confirm we've also had a D-Bot, and it's done wonders. I have really bad allergies, and, like, with us having 2 dogs, for having, like, the little robot vacuum to run each day just to get up dog hair is, like, amazing.
Yeah, just the day-to-day dander and dog hair, it helps clear up her allergies so much.
Yeah, like, I can't imagine not having one now. But he says, about 2 weeks ago, we started having issues where it looked like our D-Bot wasn't charging. So we started looking to see what was the issue. We made sure that the charging contacts were clean. We put it cleanly on the charger to make sure that it was connecting. It would blink blue for a few seconds as if it were charging, and then suddenly it would stop. We would press the auto button on top of the vacuum to start it up, but nothing would happen. So then we started looking at replacement batteries for it. Maybe the battery was dead and not holding a charge. After all, we were using it pretty regularly. My wife found a close enough replacement and ordered it online. After ordering it and getting it, she put it in, and sure enough, it still didn't turn on. We concluded that our robot vacuum was probably dead in a way that we could not fix ourselves. We then resigned to finding a replacement.
Weird.
Right? Say, after shopping around and online for a day or so, we bought a replacement robot vac and went and picked it up from the local store. Got it home, unpacked it, charged it overnight, decided to use it this morning. I went down, moved it to the center of the floor, and pressed the clean button on top. Nothing happened. So the first thing that popped into my mind was, oh, I probably forgot to hit the power button. I turned it on and watched it go, and suddenly a bolt of lightning hit me. Did we just forget to turn the power button on the D-Bot?
Oh my god.
I thought we couldn't be that stupid, but to be sure, I went out to the garage, grabbed the D-Bot, looked at the side with the power button. Yep, the power button was turned off. I brought it back into the house, turned the power on, and it started right up. Put the old battery back in it, still ran fine. We had literally forgotten to turn the power back on after charging it and bought a replacement before realizing it. Yeah. Like, stuff like that happens all the time, though. But to go through all of that and then finally have the new one, and then for the new one to spark you to finally think about it, like, that sucks so bad.
I mean, talk about buying experience. You wasted a bunch of money on that.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, yeah, you just gotta learn from it sometimes.
Yeah, like, I feel like that's on par with, like, looking for your phone when it's, like, in your hand, or your sunglasses when they're on top of your head, or, like, something like that.
Yeah, something super simple that you just didn't try.
Yeah. But, like, it also makes you wonder how much, like, perfectly fine tech and other gear gets tossed out just because of silly stuff like this.
Unfortunately, yes.
Like,
user error.
Yeah, probably happens all the time. Stupid power buttons.
Yeah. So, for my next episode, for my next story, it was submitted by FreelancerTex. And she writes, "This actually happened today. I'm still laughing, crying at my desk about it." So the background, my sister works at a local cafe and they had a special, a ginger miso smoked duck for 2, which
fancy.
Sounds fucking delicious. She sent me a photo of the dish before I left for work yesterday, and it was the most delicious thing I had ever seen at the time. I decided to treat the hubs to dinner for 2 for having a really good bonus at work. So we go and have this duck. Let me tell you, it was phenomenal. This was the best duck I've ever had. So naturally, I'm going to tell my dad about it. I have some leftover in my backpack for lunch, and I can't stop thinking about it. Well, texting Dad, I tell him it's 10 a.m. and I can't concentrate because I can't stop thinking about the leftover duck in my lunch. My sister sent a photo of the dish from her work, and it was the absolute best fuck I've ever had in my life. I I hit send and then realized a critical error.
No.
I quickly sent another text clarifying what I meant. He still hasn't responded. And I'm sure that he understood the context of like what you were implying, but that's still pretty damn funny.
But it's still like the shock value for the dad when he reads it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet like my dad would get a pretty good chuckle out of that autocorrect error.
Yeah.
But also, don't a lot of phones autocorrect change fuck to duck?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm actually very curious about that. But
yeah, that is really weird.
It's a very wholesome comedic moment because that's something you're just like, shit, he's gonna like this, but I gotta get back on that.
Yeah, damage control.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so my next story is from Leah from Philadelphia.
Hey, Leah. Or is it Leah?
Well, it's not spelled like Leah. I would say it's Leah.
Oh.
Or, I mean, it could be Lee, but I don't think so. I'm
True.
like 99% sure it's Leah. Leah.
Yeah. Yep. My bad. Sorry, I'm a Star Wars nerd and I love Leia.
Okay, so she says, I have finally gotten to a point in job security where this story is funny. So she says, last June, I was hired for my dream job. I was hired to coordinate and execute the recreation program for a memory care dementia unit in a new building.
That's super nice.
So, like, this, I'm pretty sure that this sounds like the activities director position. Mm-hmm. But, like, I worked in an activities department for a nursing facility, and I tell you what, that is fun.
I've heard a couple of your stories.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get each day from different residents. Like, you start to learn the residents, but you still have no idea what's going to come out of their mouth sometimes. It's a hoot. Also,
a little sidebar. I didn't realize this until Chrissy had told me about how the full moon actually does mess with the patients.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy coming from an outsider because, the full moon and the superstition and stuff behind it. But if you ask people who work in healthcare or any kind of industry like that, they'll tell you that it actually does affect, especially the older patients.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. And if you think about it, it just makes sense because your bodies are 80% water or something like that?
Yeah.
And so the moon has a lot of sway over water, so it just makes sense. The rise and fall of the tide. Yeah, it just makes sense. But yeah, it absolutely makes a huge difference.
That's weird shit.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, back to Leah. She says, the location was better, the stress was minimal, my coworkers have been amazing, but I am significantly younger by at least 15 years than most of all of my peers, and definitely all of administration.
Good for you.
Right? She says, well, I consider myself eloquent and very good at interviewing. I also love the job and demographic, and that shows through me quickly, which is awesome.
Especially if you're using the word eloquent.
Right? I know that my experience is not lengthy due to my age, and I have a quote-unquote edgy youth appearance with tattoos, bright hair, facial piercings, etc., so I do feel like there were concerns about my fit at the time of my hire, but they took a gamble. She says, and I promptly misused the company credit card.
Oh, man.
She says, I was given the credit card after I made a list of supplies I wanted and justified why I wanted them with admin approval. I plugged them into Amazon, bought what I wanted, then forgot about them. You can already see what happened next. Mm-hmm. My boss pulled me aside a week or two later asking about a few charges. I looked at my account and said it wasn't me. They weren't mine. We couldn't figure out who charged it or what it even was. After several hours with customer service, my supervisor found out it was somebody ordering a bunch of bras. Turns out that I looked at the date of the order being placed and not the date that the card processed the charges when I checked and denied using the card. That was not fun explaining that to my boss's boss.
Wait, did she have them in her cart or something?
I'm guessing. I don't know. That part kind of confused me too because normally the time that you place your order is the time that they charge it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There had to have been a lag or something with that. Yeah. But she says, to add insult to injury, I was homeless at the time, not due to money, but because of a whole mess of logistical reasons, and had to ask my brother-in-law to write the check because my checkbook was in storage and I couldn't find it.
Damn.
It's a department joke now about how you can't leave me alone with a card, but I couldn't sleep for a few days from embarrassment.
Oh, yeah, because that's some serious stuff in some companies.
Yeah.
Like, you could get fired for that immediately.
Yeah. But, like, especially from being the new person and working in a facility that you already kind of feel out of place and, like, you need to prove yourself, like, that would suck so bad.
Yeah, especially a younger person trying to come up in a professional environment, too.
Yeah, I mean...
And then you make this mistake by buying a bunch of bras.
Right? And that's what I was thinking, too. Like, it's one level of embarrassment to use it at all on accident, but then to deny the charges so that they had to be looked up and then discover it's for intimate apparel.
Yeah.
Before realizing that it really was you all along, and then having to fess up would make it so much more embarrassing.
Damn, you just had to take that L.
Right?
That's all you can do.
Yeah. But, like, that reminds me, too, like, Amazon just gets people. Because, like, when John and I first started dating, I remember he wanted something off of Amazon, and I had the, like, Amazon Prime membership, and so we ordered it through my account, and then somehow, all of a sudden, Amazon started using his card to charge for my Amazon Prime membership.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was going into one of my classes, and I was looking at my bank statement, and I was like, wait, why did I just get charged $90 for this? And I had to call Christy, and she was like...
Oh, I forgot it was for a real charge, too.
Yeah.
Of something. I thought it was just the membership. But yeah, it stored his card number for some reason and somehow made it the default one.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought someone was hacking my shit, and I had to call her and sort some things
out. It was me.
Yeah. She was like, you're going to buy me this, and this,
right.
and this.
Get the Amex.
So for my next... Were you done, babe?
Yeah.
Okay. So for my next story, it was submitted by A Homie is a Castle, which, damn right.
A homie is?
A homie is a castle.
Oh my god.
And so he writes, English isn't my first language, and this isn't based in America, so sorry for any spelling or grammar mistakes. Prepare yourself for a story of stupidity worthy of only soldiers and the cast of Jackass.
Oh my god, I'm so ready.
I preface 5 things are important to know. 1, our combat engineer APCs, which is armored personnel carrier, are converted tanks without the turrets. And some of them have like...
The turrets is like the big long stick coming out of it, right?
Yeah, that shoots the
cannons or whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And some of them have mine-clearing equipment, such as anti-minefield rockets on the back. 2, these APCs also carry 2 20-foot-long, 10-inch thick steel chains for towing.
Good God.
I mean, if you're towing another APC, like, you need that shit.
Yeah.
Number 3, we are not allowed to move armored vehicles across civilian roads without an officer present, which, logistics. 4, my staff sergeant at the time could sleep through everything and anything. 5, unsupervised soldiers have the attention span and rationale of a toddler. So, we were in the middle of one of our twice yearly month-long training periods, and in preparation for an exercise, all our armored vehicles were moved outside the base. Mistakenly, the logistics staff moved the battalion APC to the rally point. A rally point is just, a point they designate where everyone can, like, always come back to.
Like meet-up spot, basically?
Exactly, yeah. And so, I, being the senior soldier in the company, along with a junior soldier licensed to drive the APCs, are left in the APC during the exercise to babysit them. Because you never want them, unless they're like in a whole group, like inside the base, you don't want to leave them unattended outside of the base.
Okay.
Just like things don't get stolen.
Okay.
$1 million vehicle.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm finding it hard to follow just because acronyms that I'm not used to.
So far, basically, training exercise, all of the APCs, which are the tanks without the turrets on them, are outside of the base.
Okay.
And so, this person is with a couple other people supervising these vehicles.
Okay.
That's what's going on right now.
Okay. I can follow that.
Yeah. So, like I said, mistakenly, the logistics staff moved the battalion APC to the rally point. I already was there. Already said that. So, this rally point was at the base of a large hill with a civilian road running between the rally point and the hill. So, there's just a hill comes down. The meeting point was at the base of it, but there's a road that goes in between the two.
Okay.
On day 3, my staff sergeant joined us after the command staff realized they left 2 bored soldiers with millions of dollars of equipment and ammo unsupervised in the middle of the mountains. At the end of the day, an APC from another company broke down near the crest of the hill with the treads dislodged. And as you know, with tanks, they don't have normal wheels, they have the treads.
Yeah.
So those treads were dislodged.
Like a weird track thing.
Exactly, yeah. As the rest of the battalion moved further away, we spent the night trading guard over the 2 APCs and ordering pizza, which included trying to navigate the delivery driver to the middle of nowhere.
Oh my god.
My staff sergeant...
They're like, just look for the tanks.
Right? Yeah. My staff sergeant slept through most of this. Their APC was one of the ones with the anti-minefield rocket system on the back. They are also facing away from the road. It was the following morning yours truly had a bright idea. What if we moved the battalion commander's APC up the hill and drug the broken one back down to the bottom so we can spend the remainder of the week together at the rally point? Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, military is a lot of abbreviations. And,
it really is.
Me, the junior with me, and the 4 others APCs, including the guy left in charge there who went through basic with me, enthusiastically agree to bring it back. My staff sergeant was still asleep in the back of the battalion APC. So we start up the engine, cross the road with no officer present, and lumber up the hill.
So question.
Yes.
The guy that's sleeping, is he in the
Yes.
APC tank that they're in?
Yes.
Oh my god, that would be so loud, wouldn't it?
Well, like he said...
I know, he sleeps like a fucking rock, but
Yeah.
good god.
I mean, that's why I can sleep so well.
You can't sleep that damn well.
That's true. Not with that.
That's ridiculous. Sorry, just wanted to clarify. My god.
So we start up the engine, cross the road with no officer present, and lumber up the hill. Staff sergeant still asleep. We turn around midpoint so that we can reverse up to them, hook up, and drag them down the hill. Staff sergeant still asleep.
Oh my god.
We hook up, and with me in the hatch of the battalion APC, my buddy from basic in the hatch of the other, and 1 junior on the ground, off to the side, relaying the messages back and forth between us 2. We didn't want to go on with the open radio system, and the rocket system prevented eyesight. So, staff sergeant was still asleep. You get what I was saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. They're both in the hatch trying to talk, but
Yeah.
can't, so the junior on the ground is relaying the messages.
Yep.
As we start lumbering down the hill, I signal for the other APC to slow down, but the junior soldier miscommunicates and they speed up, slamming into the back of us. The wiring from the rocket system is severed, and somehow, after getting caught up around the exhaust vent from our APC, then starts to fire on the camouflage netting covering most of the back of our APC. Staff sergeant is still asleep and panic ensues.
Oh my god.
Just as this is happening, I look down the hill and see a car from my company logistics non-commissioned officer arriving at the rally point. We all freeze and watch as he gets out of the car, looks up, and then slowly turns to see the crashed flaming Insanity up the hill. He gets back in the car, pulls a U-turn, and drives off. Staff sergeant still has not woken up.
Oh.
We managed to put the fire out and throw off the netting, stretcher, and other burnt items to go about assessing the damage. The steel cables were all twisted up underneath the battalion's APC, and the other APC has mounted the battalion one. So it just fucking rammed right on top.
Yeah.
Now the staff sergeant wakes up. He pops the hatch and, with a look of slowly dawning horror, looks around as he realizes what has happened, and he looks like he wants to cry.
He's like, what the fuck did you do?
Well, he's in charge of all of them.
Yeah.
So it's all his fault.
Yeah.
My company logistic NCO returns with officers who are beyond shocked at the chaos of it all that he didn't even yell at us. Though the battalion commander...
He's probably too shocked.
Yeah. Though the battalion commander screamed himself hoarse when he got a hold of us, he never did forgive us, and for some reason blamed me all for it. Punishment was pretty light. We had a weekend leaves canceled for a couple weeks, but yeah, that followed me for a while.
Oh my god.
So they set off these rockets, burned the camouflage net, crashed 2 APCs, and... probably totaled one of them.
Right.
And all they got was a couple weeks.
One, if not both.
Yeah. And all they got was a couple weekend leaves taken away.
That's wild.
That's like millions of dollars of damage.
I feel like once the transport or like logistics dude came and like saw it, I would just like get out of the tank and just start running. Be like, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, that's it. You just had your leave taken away for setting fire to half your vehicle and discharging rockets.
And millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's super lucky.
Right? That's crazy. Okay, my next story is from another anonymous source.
Hi, Anonymous.
And they write, this was actually a while ago. It was the summer after 8th grade, and I joined the football team for the local high school I was starting at. We started having practices during the summer, and I would go to and from them with a couple of the guys on the team who I went to school with. Now, outside our school, there's a big closed donation bin. It's metal, and there's a little bin thing that you pull down, put clothes in, and then let up. If you wanted to, and you were pretty small, you could climb through the top and get into the clothes, but that's pretty stupid and dangerous. Well, one day after practice, I was about to leave the school to go home, and my friend's mom was coming to pick him up. So me and the people I walked with decided to wait with him so that he had somebody to talk to.
That's sweet.
Well, then we all noticed that the bottom door of the donation bin was unlocked. The owners must have taken the clothes out of the bin and then left the hatch unlocked by accident. Us, being the teenage boys we are, the next rational thought was to climb in. Sorry if you can hear that. Leah has decided to start pouncing at rope. Leah, can we leave this alone right now? Hey, can you lay back down? We'll play after, okay? Thank you, baby. Okay. Stop. No rope. Okay. Jesus, sorry. Okay, so they say, so me and my buddy Julian climb into this box and leave this little door open. Our two friends on the outside slam the door shut and put their hands over it so we can't open it.
Of course.
So we start shouting and laughing, open it, bro, let go, dude. And then we keep trying to open it and we keep shouting. And then we hear them say, we're not holding it, it's locked.
Oh, man.
Me and Julian's face immediately drop. Stone cold. We open up the little slot where you put clothes in so that we can breathe. Julian and I both start freaking out, and I start thinking, what should I do next? Do I call the fire department? Should we call one of the parents to buy a bolt cutter and cut the lock?
Jeez.
Our friends on the outside are dying laughing at this point. I am just shook and decide, fuck this, I'm getting out. So I open up the slot and start climbing into it. Julian pushes me from the back, and my friends grab me from the outside, and I was able to wriggle through and get out.
That's surprising.
Right? It says I was about 5'6" at the time and 125 pounds.
Okay.
Right?
There you go.
And I was barely able to get through. But my friend Julian wasn't nearly as athletic and was about 5'9" and 165 pounds.
Yeah, that'd be more difficult.
Right? So at this point, our friends realize the severity of the situation and start thinking about how we're going to get Julian out of this box. So our two friends on the outside start looking around and checking this parking lot for something that we could break the lock. I'm talking to Julian and about something, and I tell him that I'm going to help them look. He's getting really serious and says, dude, please don't leave me.
Aww.
So I'm like, okay, it's important that I stay here and make sure he doesn't hyperventilate or something.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends come back with a metal bar and says that he got it out of a security guard's golf cart.
What?
He was able to get leverage and break the lock and the door open. Julian crawled out of the box and we all just took a sigh of relief. And then the friend's mom showed up and then they just went home with a good story.
Nice.
But like, is that even a story you would tell your parents?
Oh yeah, I would.
You would? Like right at that point?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
guess.
my parents weren't like super assholes or anything, so like, yeah, I would tell them.
Yeah, I feel like I probably wouldn't have told them, and then just like years later, tell them, be like, guess what I did.
Yeah, I have a good couple football stories, and especially like from, as you're starting, junior high and high school football, that's when you really get close to the team, and yeah, you end up doing a bunch of stupid shit with them because. Yeah, just a bunch of teenage boys together. You're going to do dumb shit. Like, that's the part of it.
Yeah, it's just like a classic story of, like, teenagers just being doofuses and getting way more caught up in it than they ever meant to.
Yep. And there was one time where I used to ride a moped to my house and to the school just like I could stay later at practice because I didn't have my license yet. And... we were, just got out of practice. All the guys are just kind of hanging out in the parking lot. And one of the upperclassmen goes, hey, John, can I ride your moped? And I go, yeah, no problem. Have you ever ridden one before? And he goes, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And I was like, okay, go for it. So he puts it up on the stand and starts it, and then just guns the throttle on the stand, drops it down off the stand, loses control, and smacks right into the brick wall of the building. I mean,
oh my god.
The moped, like, obviously he, like, went thrown off of it. The moped hit the side, and the muffler broke off. So then after that, it was two different types of metal, so we couldn't really weld it together very well. And from the rest of that season, before I got my license, I had no muffler on my moped, and you could hear a whee.
Right, you like extra loud.
Yeah, from miles away, they'd be like, "Oh, John will be here in about 3 minutes."
Oh my god!
But I was just known for that guy with a super loud moped riding around town.
Right, and everybody's probably like, he thinks he's hot shit with that moped now.
It was purple and like 30 years old. I did not think I was hot shit. It was a $100 moped that my dad found like on eBay so that no one would have to go get me from practice. Because you didn't have to have a license to drive the moped.
Yeah.
And so like everyone else had their own lives, and he was like, here, take this moped. You have your freedom, and we don't have to pick you up.
Nice.
So I enjoyed it, but yeah, and it's just teenage boys doing dumb shit.
Right. Boys will be boys, basically.
To an extent,
well, teenagers will be teenagers.
There you go.
Because everybody does dumb shit when they're younger.
But yeah, that is it for our story today.
Yep. Thank you for joining us again.
And please help us out by leaving a rating on whatever streaming service you're listening to, and submit your stories to savagelydelightful@gmail.com.
Yep. All the ratings and reviews and stuff help the podcast more than anybody knows, so super appreciated.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye. So, you may have made a mistake today, but at least you didn't mess up as badly as the people we discussed. And if you did, we'd love to hear about it, and we may even feature your story on an upcoming episode. You can find us online at www.savagelydelightful.buzzsprout.com, on Twitter at savage_delight, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at savagelydelightful. If you like what you heard today and want to show your support, please consider donating to us on Patreon at patreon.com/savagelydelightful. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future episode releases, and please consider leaving a review so it's easier for others to find our podcast.